Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the PlayStation 2 and Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. Now at the end of the last part I said we're going back to Spagonia so we can head off to our new location, completely ignoring the fact that the continent of Holoska still hasn't actually been connected to the planet's core yet. We still have a boss fight to do, but for some reason we have to go back and speak to Professor Pickle, only for him to tell us that we've got to go back to Holoska. Why? What is the point of doing this? And why does he call it the Holoska? I read that. What's the Holoska? Anyway, why do we need to do that? Why don't we just go to Holoska? Stay where we are, basically, actually. Why don't we just stay in the hub world and then just speak to one of the Guardians there? We know who they are. This is the fourth continent we're restoring here. We know how this works. So why did we need to go back to Professor Pickle for him to tell us that we then need to go back to Holoska again? Just so that we can get the planet tablet sorted out. This is such a waste of time, and of all the characters in Holoska for it to be, we head over to the central bonfire so we can talk to Jari Pekka, who I'm guessing is Jari Thur's father. Only guessing because of the name. It's a ruse. Sure, it's a ruse. As he'll make very clear in a minute. For I am Tonic the Wedgehog. Or whatever. They are the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then he... I guess he's got Alzheimer's, I don't know, but he suffers from short-term memory loss. So he's forgotten who we are once again. But he remembers how to put a planet tablet back together, and that's all that matters. Again, why couldn't we just do this in the first place? And how small is this planet that that tiny little plane is able to go from continent to continent in a matter of minutes? Like the Earth, the time of day doesn't shift when you're on it either. So whenever it's day, it stays day. If it's at night, it stays night. And we're able to get from Apophis to Spagonia. How quickly? How long is that tornado defense stage? In the HD version? Or even bigger, when we go from Shamar to Eggman Land. So instead of... I don't know, again, you'd think that this would just be right after you finish the night stages. But unlike the Dark Eye of Phoenix, we actually do go through this boss key door. Well, the boss door. It's not really a key. Hmm?
Oh no!
And I'll start by saying that I really hate the look of the Dark Moray in that cutscene. There's something about him that just looks so weird. I don't think he's see-through, but he's got some really weird graphics on like the inside of his body. Especially when he opened his mouth. Like, he looks a lot better here. He still looks weird though. So it's called the Dark Moray because it looks like a kind of eel, but the head is very moose-like. He's got the big antlers and everything. It's an eel with the head of a moose. I don't get it. I mean, the moose part makes sense. We are in the ice world. They're an Arctic animal, but why an eel and a moose? Alright, so this boss fight's more or less the same as it is in the HD version. His attacks are slower and less effective. But the biggest difference is that he is so much easier. Unlike the Egg Devil Ray, who was a lot harder because you could only attack him at specific points, This one is easier. Because in the HD version, he has 3 major weak spots. You can still see them here. He has like these big green circles. There's one at the front of his body, one at the back, and one on his head. In the HD version, that is where you have to hit him. Here, you can hit him anywhere. The green marks still disappear, but I can still just hit him wherever I want. And if you come back to this level when you've unlocked the final move, he's even easier, because Sonic can keep the attack going during that cutscene where he's spitting out those frozen things. He doesn't spit them out in the HD version, they're just in, I believe they're just in the arena. I think that's how it works. But he's also a lot harder to hit, because his attacks are much faster and he does them a lot more often. And instead of destroying whatever these things are to lower the shield, there are instead these eel-like creatures again. Well, this time they're more akin to dragons, which is odd because we're not in dragon mode. And you need to throw the canisters at the dragon heads, freeze them, and then destroy them. But if you get too close to them, they'll hide. They'll go back into the wall and hide, and then pop up somewhere else. This final part is the worst bit of the HD version. Look at all that blood, Jesus! This guy bleeds like nothing else. It's green blood too. I think he's the only one that bleeds, and I don't think it's in the HD version either. I think it's only here. Why is there so much blood in this version for the Dark Moray? Like, that is grim. Your 1,000 points isn't really useful to me. But yeah, that final hit is really annoying in the HD version because you have to get him on the head. I don't know if they have to be in that specific order, but trying to hit him on the head is really awkward to do. Because the best time to get him is when he does the attacks where he lowers his head. Which is either slamming it down or he's like doing like a full sweeping thing. The problem is he does those so fast, the most likely thing that's going to happen is you're going to get hurt. And then if you're holding the canister, you've just lost it. There's that mural again that our characters are going to completely ignore until the 6th temple. But yeah, not a fan of the Dark Moray fight in HD. This one, it's fine. And the 4th continent has been restored, even though it was the 3rd continent we visited. But it is the 4th one to be restored, so that makes sense this time around. Right, see, now going back to Spagonia makes sense. Why did we have to go to Spagonia the last time? What was the point if he was just going to say, right, you've come from Holoska, now go back to Holoska and do the same thing you've been doing. Why did you come to me? This time, however, things are going to be a little bit different. So we talked to Professor Pickle. Ah, Sonic, once again, your timing is impeccable! After some consideration, I've decided to move the lab. I'm packing now. My ongoing analysis is... Shamar. The Gaia manuscripts contain a rich record of Shamar. A direct investigation of this historical town should reveal even more. Our base of operations must now shift from Spagonia to Shamar. Please go on ahead of us. We will follow you as soon as preparations are complete. Hang on, why are we going ahead of you? You're the one moving the lab.
All systems are green. Dark Gaia activation is confirmed on all 7 continents. Electromagnetic homing signals are locked on. All units converging on point 0.
Yes, perfect! Gathering Dark Gaia's pieces is such a pain. I'll have them come to me instead! A brilliant shift in perspective. An idea worthy of Dr. Eggman, super genius!
Your skill at self-aggrandizement is unparalleled.
Silence! Activate the Dark Gaia fusion furnace. And while you're at it, get those energy conversion circuits warmed up.
Understood. Commencing Project Dark Gaia. Requesting final clearance.
Granted. Ha! Finally, my ambitions will be achieved.
Alright, well you heard Jim Carrey. I don't know what that tower is supposed to be. We never see that tower again, but I guess that's how he's bringing all of the nightmares towards him. He's basically gathering all the bits of Dark Gaia. But we'll never see that tower in either version of the game. We don't even know where the tower is. That was me knocking the table. Now, I could go to Shamar, but I want to go to Apostos instead. We've got a Gaia Gate to go to. I believe it's the... Is it the last one? Find out. I'll remind myself in a minute now, but I think it's the last one. Got two over there. Yep, it's our last one, and it turns out we are not going into the Gaia thing. I think I got my temples mixed up. We can't go to that one yet. Maybe in the next part? I don't remember. But I think we can now go... Well, hopefully we can now go to Chenan and see if there is one available here. There we go. All is not wasted. See, like I said, now we have spikes in the hub world. Well, in the Gaia Gates. They're the only enemies you see in the Gaia Gates. And this is really where I don't like having to switch between Sonic and the Werehog. Like, that's all I have to use Sonic for, and now I have to wait. There's like the Gaia Gate where I think it was in Apostos, or it might have been Spagonia, whichever it was in, where I had those horizontal beams of light that always give me trouble. That was fine. And I missed the jump. And I like how as Sonic runs, he creates the dust. That dust was still there as I was just hovering in the air. That was just stupid. That was just stupid. And everything unfortunately resets. You keep the objects, but everything else resets. So I thought I'd try and see, can I avoid switching to Sonic? Yes, I can. Yeah, that part where you have all of the horizontal beams of light that always gives me trouble because I can never remember how you're supposed to do it properly. No issue. You turn back into Sonic so quickly there. That doesn't happen here. It takes forever. It's the only Gaia Gate where you can transform nice and quickly. Grab ourselves another extra life and there we go. Always not wasted. Ow. It's a good thing Sonic can't get crushed by those things. There's nothing more embarrassing than being squashed by an extra life monitor in the classic games. Because that has happened to me. I have been, just like in that Sonic short, I have been crushed by a 1-up box. I think it was in Wing Fortress Zone, actually. It's like, of all the things to get crushed by, the item box, and of all the item boxes, it had to be the 1-up. Just why? Why? Why is that a thing? Thankfully, I can't remember. There is a game where it does eventually start. I don't know if it's in Sonic 3, but I don't think there's ever an opportunity which we'll find out. But I know, I think in like Sonic Generations, it doesn't do that, thankfully. It just pushes Sonic aside for a bit. So welcome to Shamar. In the HD version, this is the biggest hub world. Here it's just a map like everything else. You can only see one side of the map though. Like this is the entrance side, but there would be another one just off to the right. Meet Yasmin and Samia, the pretty committee. Although Samia is not sure how you're supposed to say it. Yasmin is... She thinks she has an attitude... Well, she does have an attitude problem, but I don't really know what to describe her. All I know is, in the HD version has given me an absolute hatred for Yasmin. When we have to go and rescue her in what is the most bullcrap mission in that entire game. I mean, some of the DLC is worse, but in terms of the missions, Jesus Christ, that mission. It's just like, you're going through about 2/3 of the Arid Sand level, but there's way more hazards to avoid. The last of which is damn near impossible. It is absolutely horrific. And it's under a very strict time limit. I absolutely despise that mission. So forget it, Samia. Your sister can go and die in the desert. Sorry. So by talking to Professor Pickle's assistant, and that's the last time we'll pretty much be talking to Professor Pickle's assistant, maybe I'll decide to speak to him one more time towards the end, I don't know. We'll find out, I haven't gone that far yet. Ah, Sonic, what took you... Well, maybe if you told me where the lab was, why did I go on ahead of you? Why didn't we just help Professor Pickle? I gotta say, this is the fastest move ever. He was able to do this in incredible speeds. In the HD version, you can still go back to the Spagonia lab. There's nobody in there, but you can still go back and interact with all the objects you bought. You can't do that here. There's no more Spagonia. I mean, for what reason? It's a menu. The hub worlds are a menu. So there's not really going to be a lot you can do. I guess you could just have Chip say, "It looks like nobody's here, Sonic." So we have Layla, who is she's a foreign exchange student. She blends in quite well with the locals, I have to say. But she's the one with the tablet. I guess Professor Pickle knows her, and she never explains why she's got the tablet. So, for reasons that I will get into in the next part, we're not going to be going straight into the hub world next time. I mean, this video is already 19 minutes long, but still, I wanted to just stop here. And I don't think I can get the CD from these guys yet. And now they're the Cutie Committee. So they are the pre-Cutie Cum Kitty. So I'll get more into why I decided to stop things here next time. As we enter what is my least favourite day stage in the game when it comes to collecting the items. So I will see you guys then.